In this video I'm going to show you how to get the area of different types of 2D shapes. Now for the first one we've got a rectangle, and the formula for the rectangle is quite simple. It's length times breadth. So in this case our length is this side right here, which is 7.5, and our breadth is this side right here, which is 3. So all we have to do is 7.5 centimeters times 3 centimeters, and if you put that on a calculator we'll end up getting 22.5 square centimeters. So that's how to get the actual area of a rectangle. The area of a parallelogram is quite similar, but we have the length still given, which is this, but we don't use this, so we don't use the actual breadth, we use the height instead. So with the actual parallelogram, it's length times height. In this case, 12 times 4 centimeters, and that would be 48 centimeters. Just remember, for a parallelogram, we don't use breadth, we use height instead. So length times breadth for rectangle, length times height for parallelogram. Now the actual formula for the area for a square is quite simple, because with a square all sides are equal. We have 4 sides and they're all equal. So all we do is we can name one of the sides A, doesn't matter which one, they're all the same. And to get the area of a square, all we have to do is A squared. So A times A. So if we, for example, say one of them is 2 centimeters, then to get the area, all we have to do is 2 to the power of 2, which is basically 4 centimeters squared. Right, so that would be how we get the area of a square. Now the rhombus is a bit different. The rhombus also all sides are equal, but we can't use that same formula. What we have to do is we have to actually draw in diagonals. So we draw this diagonal, we might call that Y, and then we draw in another diagonal, we might call that X. And the formula for this would be half times x, so diagonal x, and times diagonal y. So for a rhombus, we don't just square one of the sides, we have half times diagonal x times diagonal y. Right? So it's important to know for a rhombus compared to a square. We have 3 more shapes. The first one is called the trapezium. A trapezium has 2 parallel lines. In this case, side B and side A is parallel. But we also need to have the height as well. So those are the 3 things we need: height and the 2 parallel sides. And the formula itself looks like this: half times A plus B in brackets times height. Right? So half times the 2 parallel sides added together times the height. That's for a trapezium. For a circle, it's pretty simple. For a circle, the area is pi, which is roughly, not exactly, but roughly 3.14 if we round it up. 3.14 times r squared, and r is the radius, in this case half of the diameter. So the area of a circle is pi times r squared. And the last one I want you to know is the area of a triangle. Now all triangles have height. In this case, the height is basically from the base or the breadth to its highest point, its highest tip. That would be the height. And the area for a triangle is always going to be half times breadth times height. So the area for a triangle is half times breadth times height. And remember, the height is always a point from the breadth to the highest point of that triangle. That would be its height. In this case, this is the height. But remember, for area of a triangle, half times breadth times height.